Welcome to Rangers Match Day News. That's right, guys. It is match day as Rangers take on Ayr United in the Scottish Cup this evening. Yes, this evening, guys. It is an evening kickoff around time. Yes, once again, scheduled to interfere with your dinner time. But as always, what is more important than watching Rangers? What is more important than seeing our boys in blue turn out at Ibrox? And the challenge, obviously, will be Ayr United. Now, United are managed by a former, what's the word I'm looking for here? Former opponent. Let's go. Let's try and be diplomatic here. A former opponent of ours, Celtic player Scott Brown, who back in the day was certainly someone who seemed to hate Rangers and had certain run-ins, didn't he, with certain Rangers players, Ryan Kent, for example. Loved it. But according to Scott now, he's now professed his undying love for Glasgow Rangers. He loves us, apparently, now. But you know what? There's a kind of an element of truth maybe in that, apparently Scott Brown was a Rangers fan as a kid. There are pictures of him in a Rangers kit. His family are staunch Rangers fans as well, I've been told reliably by some of the viewers of this channel. So look, I get that. And Philippe Clement today did make a joke out of the whole situation. Previously he had said that he'd heard that someone who hated Rangers was coming, which obviously was always interesting. But today he said that he'd heard Scott Brown say, what was he said in his press conference, that he loves Rangers now and he likes people who love Rangers. So it'll be all good on the sidelines. Interesting, as obviously Big Phil spoke to the media yesterday afternoon. So guys, if you haven't checked out, by the way, I did drop a video yesterday which looks something like this one here. Check it out, guys, with all the latest news on that Phil Clement press conference. Again, announced just I don't know, it's like a kind of masterclass in how to give a press conference. You go back to the previous days of some of the previous managers, and it was a little bit embarrassing. Whereas this man is just spot on with how he delivers his message. And obviously, he did speak about Ayr. He did speak about the need for Rangers to be professional, to have the right mentality and display the right quality. This is what Phil had to say. He says, it's about showing quality and mentality and showing respect for their qualities. I think the best example was last night. I always follow my friends, and Monaco went out of the cup against a second division team yesterday evening. So those are not the things I want to see happen here. He's right. That is 100% spot on with what he says there. And it is about respecting everyone you play against, whether you're playing against that lot from across the city, whether you're playing against another Scottish Premier League team, whether you're playing in Europe against a big European team, or whether you're playing in the cup competitions against a lower league team. You need to show respect for what they bring, because if you underestimate them, you'll end up looking very embarrassed indeed. Certainly something that must have happened to Monaco, losing to a second division team. And as I said on the video yesterday, there was a number of times that upsets have happened, isn't there? I'm sure that Bonnie Rigg Rose playing Aberdeen today as well will be hoping for another upset in their game. And Phil's right. He doesn't want to see it happen here. You know what, Phil? Big Phil, none of us want to see it happen here either. So at the end of the day, it is for Rangers to go out there and show the right quality, the right mentality, and take the game ultra seriously. Now, I think with Big Phil Clement as our manager, there's little doubt that this game will be taken seriously. The players will not be allowed to slack. The players will not be allowed to just kind of sort of sit back and let the game kind of pass them by. He went on to say the staff and players have done the maximum they can in the period we have had together to get the best out of it. But I think we still have a big margin to grow. It's difficult to do that when you have a game every 3 days. So that is why we also need a rotation in the squad and to have everybody fit. So some interesting comments there. Certainly talking about the players and the staff working as hard as they can towards this cup tie, not taking it any the less just because Ayr are a lower league team. And also the fact that, that he again talks about the fact that he doesn't really get the time to kind of prepare this team, to get this team 100% right, due to the fact that obviously we played Tuesday night. Wednesday, therefore, has to be a recovery day. It does limit what you can do. It really does kind of cause you to be concerned about the amount of work you can do in terms of tactics and fitness off the field. Philippe Clement is correct in that assertion and in what he says anyway in that conference that he gave today. So Ayr United, what do we know about them? Well, we know that they currently sit 6th in the Scottish Championship. Their last 5 games, they've lost 2, won 2, drawn 1. They've played 23 games this season. They've won 7, drawn 5, lost 11, scoring 30 goals, conceding 41, giving them a negative goal difference of minus 11. You know, you look at their last few games. Just recently, they lost 2-1 to Aberdeen. Sorry, to Dundee United. My apologies there. They lost. They won 2-1 against Queen's Park. They won 2-0 against Arbroath. They progressed from the last round of the Scottish Cup, the 4th round, by beating Kilty Hearts 3-0. So I think not a major test for them to get to this point. Previous to that, they drew 0-0 with Arbroath. Lost 3-1 to the Duncan Ferguson-inspired Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Previous to that, a 3-0 defeat to Greenock Morton. You know, you look at their away form this season. You know, you go back to the third round of the cup. Yes, they did beat Peterhead again, not a major test, but away from home, they have lost to Dundee 1-0. They drew 4-4 with Raith Rovers, lost 3-0 to Greenock Morton, drew 0-0 with Arbroath, did beat Queen's Park away, although Queen's Park did have a player sent off. So, you know, in terms of as a team, their form is very mixed indeed. Scott Brown obviously is their manager. They play with a 4-4-2 system, a very old school fashion system. It'd be interesting to see though if they go with that against Rangers tomorrow. I very much doubt that. Probably more 4-5-1 formation. In the last game, the 4-4-2, they had Albinson in goal, a back four of McAllister, Stanger, McGinty, Redding, Bryden, Silla, Dempsey and Murphy, with Dowds and Mackenzie up front. Look, you know what? You can talk all you want about this Ayr United team, but with the greatest of respect, and we have to show everyone respect we play, this Rangers team should have more than enough talent, more than enough skill, more than enough ability, even if we rotate and rest players, to actually get past this team. You know, as Philippe Clement has said on multiple occasions, you know, he wants to win every competition he is in. He's ambitious. You know, he talks about the fact that he wants to win trophies, that he knows how to win trophies, that he's been there, seen it, done it. And I think there is a clear determination by Philippe Clement to do as well as he can do in all the remaining competitions that Rangers are involved in. Now, in terms of the team for today's game, this is how I would line up. Now, what I've done is I've kind of pulled in a little bit of what I would do, but also listened to what Philippe Clement was saying today. He talked about the fact that Ryan Jack was back. He talked about the fact that Lawrence was out. He talked about the fact that there would be rotation. He also talked about the fact that Diamande and Cortez were ready to start, but not play 90 minutes. So I've kind of taken those hints, taken what he said, and come up with a bit of a team. So this is my team for Ayr United tomorrow at Ibrox. Now, I'm going to put Robbie McCrory in goal. I think the intention seems to be to play Robbie, to give Robbie minutes, right up until I think, you know, this gets serious. Perhaps we play Aberdeen and we play Celtic at some point. That then maybe obviously then Jack Butland comes back in. And the back four, I think, largely picks itself. I think even though Ben Davies is back, I don't think he'll start with Ben. Leon Balogun is meant to be back next week to play against either Ross County or against St Johnstone on the Sunday. So I do think obviously Tav will start at right back. I can't see Tav not starting at right back. It's just, you know what, it's just one of those. Obviously Sterling is suspended. Devine's out on loan. So at the end of the day, there seems to be only one option. And that option for me is that James Tavernier starts at right back. Centre-half pairing, I think, will be Connor Goldson and John Suter. Again, like I said, Davis may come on at some point, but with Balogun out, I don't think he sees King as being a potential there. So I do think that Suter and Goldson will continue at centre-half. For me, the left back, there is a potential that he plays Borna Barisic. I really hope he doesn't. Borna just, for me, offers nothing. So Ridvan, who is in excellent form, for me, starts the game. I think we changed the two in front of the back four. You know, Tom Lawrence, as Philippe said today, is not available for the game today. It's a protective measure, not that he's injured. And I think it's time that John Lundstrom had a rest. You know, John is outstanding. I'm not saying drop John. completely. I'd have him on the bench, but he's played virtually every single game since the winter break. It's time I think he was kind of spelled. The kind of, I think, rest protects some of our players heading into that game on Wednesday night against Ross County. So for me, Ryan Jack comes back into the lineup alongside Nicholas Raskin. I think we need to start giving Raskin some minutes. Let us see what Raskin has got. Can he get back to the form he showed last season? Can Big Phil inspire Nicholas Raskin to be the midfielder we all know he can be? I think as well, having Jack there gives Yilmaz and Tav the ability to bomb on, because Jack will drop back into make a back three with Suter and Goldson. He'll also allow Raskin to get forward and attack with that front three behind Fabio Silva. So I do think that this gives us the best option to really get at air. McCausland for me starts on the right wing. I think we need to give the lad his minutes. I think against air he could really excel. I like Ross. I think Ross is outstanding. I really do. I think he's got a great future, and I think some of the criticism, like I've said, of Ross is very, very unfair. Now, I've put Diomande and Cortez into the starting lineup. Why? Because this is what Philippe Clement kind of dropped a hint today. Whether that'll happen, I don't know. We'll see when the team is revealed. But I'd love to see Diomande against this lower league opposition. Give him some minutes. Give him perhaps an hour. Get an hour's competitive play into his legs. And let's see what we've got in this young lad. He certainly joined with a lot of hype, looking like a quality player. I think his ability to run in behind, his ability to pick a pass will help to unlock a air low block that we will see tomorrow. Cortez, I think, again, we give Matondo a rest. Matondo, for me, is the player for Wednesday night. Let's see what we've got in Cortez. Let's see if he can, if he is as talented as we're hearing. It is only air. I know that's quite arrogant to say, and we've got to be respectful. I get that. But I think that Cortez, hopefully tomorrow, will get perhaps an hour into his legs. For me, Silva's got to start up front. He's the best striker at the club. Yes, I know he's not an out-and-out nine, but he's still the best forward we have. He is 10 times the player that Cyril Dessers is. I'm sorry, I just don't trust Dessers in any game to take his chances. Yes, I suppose against air, it doesn't matter. He's probably going to get more chances. But for me, Fabio Silva has to start, perhaps give him an hour, then bring Dessers on. I think Dessers is better from the bench anyway. Then obviously Silva can start again on Wednesday night against Ross County. Personally, I wouldn't start Dessers again this season. I'd give Silva all the starts. I think he's 10 times the player that Cyril Dessers is. He just has more skill, more talent, more ability. He works the whole back four. He's just a better all-round player for me. That's why I'm going with with Fabio Silva up top against air. Look, this is a game we've got to be winning. We've got to be progressing from. We've got to be, really fighting hard. And like I said the other day, that siege mentality, that us against them needs to start tomorrow. It needs to be focused from today, against Air United, guys. So let's obviously hope that we turn up. Let's hope that we put on a show for the fans under the lights at Ibrox. I'm going for a 4-0 victory to Rangers. First goal scorer today is going to be Fabio Silva. I think that he'll be the get. So I'll also see Cortez perhaps sneaking in with a sneaky goal as well. Guys, let me know what your predictions are and how you would line up for the game today. Thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. And as always, if you can smash the sub to help the channel to keep on growing, that would be utterly phenomenal. And on the way out, there's always two things I ask of you. Number one is to smash the like. And number two is to remember always, we are the people.